Well, I am catching this gal, Alexis Baden-Mayer, the political director for the Organic Consumers Association, on the road again because she is a busy lady, but she does have a couple of moments to spare with us today. Hey, Alexis, how are you? Thank you.
Great, Dr. Steve. Thanks for chasing me down. Sorry about that.
No, it's my pleasure. I like busy people. Okay, there was a story last week in the Organic Bites that we didn't have a chance to get to, but you're again working with it again this week. Could you fill us in with this Dr. Siddiqui and what the potential problems are, at least in terms of how Organic Consumers sees him?
Absolutely. President Obama has made a nomination for the agricultural negotiator for the office of the United States Trade Representative. And the person that he's chosen is Dr. Izzy Siddiqui. Now, we go way back with Dr. Siddiqui because he was part of the Clinton administration. He was the Undersecretary for Agricultural Marketing Programs when the organic law was first proposed. And instead of just taking what the National Organic Standards Board had determined was the consensus in the industry, that we didn't want sewage sludge, we didn't want irradiation, we didn't want genetically modified organisms in organic, he decided that this should all be open for comment. So he put out a rule that said, why not have these things in organic? And this was one of the things that got our organization off the ground because we were part of generating 230,000 comments on that first version of the rule, and then many hundreds of thousands of comments as that process went along. But Siddiqui is not on our side. He is not a fan of organic. And the reason why he wanted to contaminate organic with genetically modified organisms is because another role he played for the Clinton administration was talking with Europe about Europe's ban on genetically modified organisms and Europe's demand that if genetically modified organisms came into European market through U.S. agriculture exports, they would have to be labeled. And labeling them would have meant, complete consumer rejection. So Dr. Siddiqui thought that it was more important to get U.S. GMO crops into Europe than it was to protect strong organic standards. So now he's being nominated for another trade post, and it's really interesting also to know what he's been doing since he was in the Clinton administration. His most recent job, he was working as the vice president at CropLife America. And CropLife America is just the lobby for the pesticide industry. It includes Syngenta, Monsanto, Dow Chemical, and DuPont. And CropLife was the group that went after Michelle Obama when she started her garden. She announced that her garden would be organic and pesticide-free, and the CropLife America regional group that represents Monsanto in St. Louis, they wrote the First Lady a harsh letter, and they sent emails back and forth that have become public now that said they shuddered over the thought of the First Lady having a garden that was pesticide-free. So these are the folks that Dr. Siddiqui has been representing and working for in the past years. And the only reason I can figure that President Obama has nominated him to this important post that will determine policy for the administration is that he was a big fundraiser for President Obama's campaign. He gave the maximum contribution limit in the presidential election, and he was known to host fundraisers for candidate Obama. So the big news this week was that the New York Times picked up this story. Organic Consumers Association is part of a very large coalition trying to block Siddiqui's confirmation in the Senate. And the New York Times basically picked up our press release and our letter to the Senate and made it into an editorial last week. So that was a huge victory for our movement. And I think that definitely, obviously, the public is on our side, that we need sustainable agriculture for trade and for development. And it's great to see the New York Times champion that. And I hope that when it comes to the Senate, the senators will think really hard about putting someone like this in that position.
Wow, it's absolutely an amazing story that you have unwound for us today, Alexis. This is astounding. To me, at this point in my life, it's the multinational corporations who have promised a lot but have taken away a whole bunch and would like to take away a whole hell of a lot more. But because of OCA and Alexis Baden-Mayer and people like them and her, it won't happen. And we're going to do our little small part to signal the clarion call and to get your attention. Alexis, fabulous. I'm glad we had the time. We sort of backed into this one, but it was a really good one. We will hook up again next week if you don't mind, all righty?
Thank you, and thank you for the inspiring words.